Greetings and salutations. Mega Wizard 79 here, going to play Knights of Azure for the PlayStation 4. It's a game I've had my eyes on for a little while. Ever since I saw it in the game store. It looks really interesting. Has sort of a I guess you could say God of War meets Pokemon aspect, since it's sort of arena fighting along with basically a summoning mechanic that sort of emulates Pokemon in the sense that like each of the summons has their own unique attributes and basically weaknesses, and some of them are support, some of them are more oriented towards combat, and then there are some that are right in the middle. So all in all, a very interesting game with a rather strong story, in my opinion. Given the fact that there was a sequel to this, but I mean, take that with a grain of salt, I suppose. But hey, I'm glad that basically that a sequel did come out for this. So let's just hope that this one doesn't end on a cliffhanger that basically facilitated the sequel, because those tend to be kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial. There we go. That's the word. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started, shall we?
11世紀、常しえの夜で世界を包んだ妖魔の王、夜の君を一人の少女が倒したという。だが、その散り際に、夜の君はその汚れた血をまき散らし、世界に禍根を残した。ブルーブラッド。その血を浴びた者は姿と性質を変え、邪妖と呼ばれる人にあだなす存在となった。以降、邪妖は夜になると街に現れ、人々を襲うようになり、人間の世界から夜を奪った。そうして、世界は光さす昼は人が活動し、闇に染まる夜は邪妖がうごめく眠ることのない夜のない国となった。それから800年、聖戦の舞台となった北海に浮かぶ地図にない島、ルースワール。今この島で、夜との宿命を背負う2人の少女が運命の再会を果たそうとしていた。これは夜のない国に生き、愛する者のために戦った2人の少女の物語。 ここが指定された島か。くそ、教皇長め、こんな地図にもない島にあんなボロ船で向かわせやがって。おかげでひどい船酔いが。
教皇庁の騎士の方ですか？
まあ、君が今回の司祭ってリュリーテス？
アーナス、今回の邪妖討伐任務のパートナーってあなただったのね。
おう、私も驚いたよ。まさかまた君と一緒に任務ができるとはね。
邪妖と戦うエージェントアーナス様をケアしに参りました。よろしくお願いしますね、騎士様。
こちらこそよろしく頼むよ、司祭さん。それにしても久しぶりだな。最後に会ったのはドイツで大物を狩った時だから何年ぶりだ？
そうね、2年ぶりくらいかしら。
もうそんなに経ったのか。リュリーティスはそれまで何してたんだ？
そうね、お仕事をしたり旅行をしたり、とにかくいろんなところに行ったわね。イギリス、フランス、ポルトガル、ヨーロッパはほとんど回っちゃったんじゃないかしら。
そうなんだ。思い返してみると私は仕事ばっかりの2年だったな。
へえ、アーナスはどこでお仕事をしていたの？
アメリカ。
アメリカ？それはまた遠くに行っていたのね。
任務はそれほどでもなかったんだけど、現地まで行くのが大変だったな。今にも沈みそうな小舟に乗って波に揺られていったんだ。何度死ぬかと思ったことか。
ああ、アーナスって船が苦手だものね。
うん。なんで船になんて乗りたがるのかわからないよ。向こう岸に渡りたいなら橋を架ければいいし、魚を釣りたいならそこらの川でこと足りる。人間は地に足つけて生きるのが一番なんだよ。わざわざ水の上に行く必要なんてこれっぽっちもないじゃないか。
アーナス、わかったから落ち着いて。
ごめん。
アーナスが昔から変わってなくて安心したわ。でもこの島にも船で来たんでしょ？大丈夫だったの？
実はあんまり大丈夫じゃない。さっきから船酔いで頭がグラグラしてるんだ。
あら、大変。じゃあ早くホテルに行きましょう。
ホテル？
ええ、教皇庁の協力者が待っているの。さっき見てきたけど広くていいホテルだったわよ。
さすが教皇庁、気前だけはいいな。まあいいや。ホテルに向かうとするか。
そうね、行きましょう、アーネス。
どうしたんだよリリーティス、急に笑ったりして。
アーナスと一緒にいるんだなって思ったらつい嬉しくなっちゃって。
なんだよそれ。
私たち学生の時はずっと一緒にいたじゃない？寄宿舎で一緒に起きて遊んでお話しして。なのに卒業したらめったに会えなくなっちゃって、私とっても寂しかったのよ。
リュリーティス。
だからね、ハーナス。今回はまたあなたと一緒にいられてとっても嬉しいの。
そっか。ねえリュリーティス、この島あまり大きくなさそうだけど景色は綺麗だと思わない？この任務が終わったら一緒に見て回ろうよ。いろんな話をしながらさ。
ハーナス、絶対よ、約束だからね。
うん、約束。そうと決まればこんな任務さっさと終わらせちゃおう。ロシエクロックが反応しているということは。
ええ、邪妖たちが潜んでいる証拠だわ。気をつけてね、ハーナス。
ああ。なんだ。
シャーコーリ
セルバンが呼び出す前に勝手に出てくるなよ。お前たちはセルバン、私のしもべなんだからちゃんと言うことを聞け。
カルフェンライアイーゼ。
はいはい、頼りにしてますよ。
And now we finally get introduced to the actual combat. So, yeah, a lot to digest there, so to speak. I mean, as we clearly saw, these two have a very deep past, considering that, I mean, they're fairly young as it is, so it could be inferred that they've known each other's well into their early teens, if not maybe even younger than that, maybe during their elementary school years. But yes, it so far the story has promise. It has two very strong characters, very well defined. Especially, I mean, as we just heard from Anise herself, the fact that she basically loathes having to travel across the ocean. Um, Plot wise, really doesn't do much. It doesn't really forward anything, but that is a very strong indication that she has character, that thought was put into her, that, the fact that she was so emotional and passionate about it, it's it speaks volumes to how much they're actually caring about these two. I mean, especially since Anise is going to be our primary character that we're going to be playing as, so if they can't make her likable or relatable, essentially they kind of failed at telling a story, more or less. But yes, it's all so far they're starting off strong. Now I'm pretty sure someone somewhere. I mean, heck, myself. I mean, heck, I do this all the time, but would probably go like, so how does that explain why she dresses like this or something? Like, I mean, like, it's fairly evident that she is, like, the outfit she's wearing is completely ridiculous. I mean, it's like, she's, I mean, for a character that seems so strong-willed and stuff, like, some people might say, well, she seems to have no self-respect. Um, there is actually a pretty good counter to that, in the sense that if there's anyone out there who has seen D. Gray Man, then they would know this. In D. Gray Man, the primary characters, they're all dressed in ridiculously outlandish outfits that just make them stick out like a sore thumb. The main character of that story once asked, why is it we dress like this? Wouldn't it basically make our jobs more easier if we were, like, hiding and stuff? And one of the characters said, well, yeah, we could easily probably blend in and stuff, but the problem is we want to be seen. We want the enemy to see us so that they don't start attacking random civilians, because if we hide amongst the civilians, well, then they're just going to attack anyone all willy-nilly. That's not what we want. So conversely, it could be implied that maybe she dresses like that intentionally, or just could be that she just dresses like she just dresses like that because she finds it comfortable or she likes the outfit or who knows? Who really knows? I mean, we don't really know that much about the character so far to explain why she would choose that attire specifically. But yeah, um, so far pretty good. In terms of basically the narrative aspect. So now we get to see how it holds up in terms of combat, which is probably the reason most people would pick up this game. So let's get on the way with that, shall we? Fiends appear suddenly at night. Summon your Servon and defeat the fiends to move forward. So summoning them will basically will consume her SP, which SP essentially is kind of like your stamina gauge, more or less. Like it's basically what allows the character to fight and all that stuff. Um, what do you call it? Like even her doing normal attacks and stuff will basically consume SP, so you kind of have to be very attentive of how you're employing this resource. Obviously it will regenerate a little bit over time, but it's better not to completely blow it all willy nilly. So yeah, you just push the R button and then one of the face buttons, as displayed right there. Like basically. Like the healer right there, it's mapped to the square button, so you would push R and square, and then it would go from there. Pretty self-explanatory. So everyone's summoned with our niece's SP, which is displayed at the bottom left. Be careful not to use too much of it. Case in point. So we will first attack with a Servon. We will summon Dinosaur. Dinosaur is attack type, Servon, and performs consecutive attacks with its blade. Its sharp blade will sometimes inflict the status bleed, weakening enemies. Leave this to the Servons. So yeah, at the moment, essentially we're just supposed to let him do all the fighting. As you can see, they're all very autonomous. They basically don't really require any more commands after they're summoned, more or less. I mean, there are some commands you can give them, but for the most part, they'll just fight on their own or employ their other abilities. When all the fiends are defeated, the barrier will be lifted. Defeat fiends and continue your advance. So yeah, so as I said, like God of War, essentially, you're basically once you exit the hallway and enter a big room like this, you're basically immediately stuck, and you have to defeat all the enemies until you are permitted to leave. Like the reason this one's still here is because that's where we came from. There's no practical reason for us to have to go back that way. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if technically that's even considered a zone, because all that was just cutscenes, so the developers might not have even created anything over there as far as we know. So, yep, once we pass the connective tissue right to this room. We are greeted by a scripted explosion! Funs for days! So now we get to see the healer employed in action. Our niece doesn't have much HP left. Summon Alaroon. Alaroon uses recovery skills to heal our niece and its allies. Alaroon is very weak against enemy attacks, so be careful to protect it. It's rather interesting that they refer to these things as it, as if they don't have any particular gender, sort of like in Pokemon, more or less, where in some cases the Pokemon, even though they do have predefined genders, like, one will be a male, one will be a female, with certain exceptions notwithstanding, but yet, overall, they're still referred to as rather it. It's quite, interesting, really. This one here would, I think it is actually a pretty good indication, because it could be implied that it may be a female, given its outfit to an extent, and, the way it's kind of cutesy, but, if you've seen enough anime, you'll know that that alone is just not even remotely close enough to even come across, like, deducing a person's gender. I mean, if you've seen Full Metal Alchemist, then you'll know that the that walking trap, which is envy, essentially, basically, you know, you can't tell what the heck it is. And, I mean, it's a shapeshifter, so already its actual gender is already up to boot, you know, up for grabs, so, in any event. But, yeah. I just figured that's pretty interesting, really. And, so yeah. There are types of Servon. Don't just attack. Yeah, I think that's a typo. I think it's supposed to say these are types of Servon. There are types of Servon, don't just attack, but also provide support by healing. There are types of Servon. Yeah, I think they're missing, yeah, there should be a that there. Like, there are types of Servon that don't just attack. Oh, well. But also provide support by healing. Servons may also use a special action called Assist when Arnis is in a pinch or if the enemy is too strong. Servons decide on their own whether to use an assist. Sometimes it's important to respect their wishes. Also, sometimes treasure boxes can be found in the field. Attack a treasure box with the square to open it. Try opening this one. You can use any attack, really, to open that chest, but basically, like, this one's just the more preferred one. But yeah, what do you call it? So yeah, so as you can see though, like basically, there is no real dedicated sprint button. As long as you just keep running in a general direction, she'll receive this type of boost that basically will just automatically make her start sprinting, which is very good because that, you know, like unlike other games, basically that usually uses your stamina or something to sprint. In this one, it's just a straight up free boost. That's all it is. Like, you know, much appreciated. So yeah. What do you call it? So let's just open this thing, and yeah, basically just restored our health and gave us more SP. Nothing special. Finally, I will explain how to use the Servon Burst. So yeah, Servons can spend their SP to activate a unique super skill called the Servon Burst. You can activate a Servon Burst by pressing R1 and all the face buttons simultaneously while that Servon is summoned. Use them wisely, such as when a lot of enemies or one powerful enemy appears. And then, you know, these are just Arnis's basic attacks: square, triangle, X. The X one does use SP though, so you basically you would prefer to use that in a pinch. It's a very powerful, devastating attack that has like a really wide sweep. Like she basically goes all Link on them and just does that. Also interesting. Basically, you know, rotational swing with a slight angle to it. So basically she comes down, so it's not just a perfect circle, it actually is more of a corkscrew. So essentially she's starting off as a downward slash followed by a rotational, so which can actually be much more devastating just because unlike a pure rotational, which would just be a straight up you know, like you just start from, you know, like basically you're just going completely horizontal. The fact that this has a verticality to it can increase its devastating power, considering that, you know, if you're hitting a person, you know, if you just you know, the person in front of you will take the most greatest aspect of that attack just because you're coming down with all your weight, smashing into them, and then you're following through with that momentum, and then smashing everyone else around you in a circular motion. It can be quite, you know, devastating if she were to employ that in real life and properly execute it. Arnis's basic attacks are, yeah, case in point, like, you know, square, triangle, X. And then basically there's a block by pushing L1, and then to dodge you just move the left thumbstick and pushing B simultaneously. It's all pretty intuitive. And then R3 essentially pushing down on your right thumbstick will perform a lock on an enemy, which is I would say it's more useful probably against bosses than actual just fodder. But you know, if you want to target a specific one, like for example, say you have like one that does like fire damage and your little Servon is weak to fire, well, you would probably want to take that one out by yourself. Of course, the problem is when you lock onto them, like you and your Servon will attack together, so it's a give and take. Summon Wood Golem and fight using the Servon bursts. So Wood Golem has a body made of hard oak and uses it as a shield. Atypical tank. It's weak against fire, so be careful not to attract fire type enemies when this Servon is out. And there's one layer. That's a I don't know how much it's employed in the game, but I would say that is a very interesting layer of combat for something that for essentially so far everything we've seen has just been basically just pushing a button, doing an action. This basically adds a little more strategic aspect to it because it makes you think before actually deciding which Servon you're going to use. Like, essentially, like this guy, ideally, in a situation you would want to use him as a meat shield, but if you're fighting against something made of fire, well, his effectiveness and essential usefulness just basically goes right down the toilet. So, basically, it's a really fun mechanic that basically adds a layer to an otherwise simple combat system. This concludes the explanation of the enemy's basic operations. Use these features to defeat lots of fiends. Yep, and that was pretty much the tutorial.
こんなもんか。お疲れ様アーナス。さあ、ロジエクロックを出して。
分かった。
青き血をたたえる古き気候よ。移ろう時のごとく、流れる水のごとく、忌むべき血をあるべき地へと送り出せ。これでもう大丈夫。ロジエクロックに溜まった青い血を浄化したわ。これでしばらく青き血に蝕まれずに済むはずよ。
ありがとう。助かったよ。ところでそいつは何？
ああ、この猫ちゃん？アーナスの戦いを見ている間にお友達になったの。
なんてのんきな。
どうしたのかにゃ？お腹空いたのかにゃ？
リュリーテス。
早くお家に帰ってご飯をもらいましょうね。どうしたのアーナス？私の顔に何かついてる？
なんでもない。ひとまず先に進もう。
まだ夜が潜んでいるみたい。気を抜かずに行きましょう。
ああ。闇が黒鳥が溢れ出してる。なんて数だ。
アーネス、あれを。 まさかあれはミラだ。
知っているの、リュリーティス。
あれはもう一つの月、ミラだ。全て満ちると世界が常しえの夜に包まれるという夜の月。つまりあれが見えるということは、
また世界が常しえの夜に包まれようとしてる。リュリーティス、どけ。リュリーティスを助けるんだ。
So yeah, that's quite the escalation.
行く。
It's really oh boy, like yeah, from zero to dragon, boom, just like that.
おつよ。
But yeah, the I do find it
おつよ。
a little sad, really, the fact that
おつよ。
you know, despite all the good characterization and stuff we've seen so far, that when it comes to the actual animation, it kind of falls short, just because of the fact that, I mean, you all saw yourself there, right? She didn't do anything. Like, not a single thing to,
おつよ。
like, you know, she just essentially just stood there and let her friend get taken. I I don't even have words to just basically really just describe how a tad disappointing that is. It's just, I don't know. It's just so lackluster, so to speak. The fact that, you know, that was the, you know, like, type of expression and animation. I mean, she didn't even bother drawing out her sword. Like, I mean, heck, like, they could have at least maybe had, like, one of her servants just come out and maybe try and protect her or something, but, and then horribly get knocked away or something. But I mean, especially given the fact that, you know, it's clearly evident that these guys, while they do obey her to a T, they are fully capable of summoning themselves. So, you know, I just wonder why, you know, the little, you know, why Alaroon didn't just, you know, appear and try to protect the priestess, you know, and then get knocked away or something in, you know, rather pathetic fashion. But I don't know. It feels like they really dropped the ball there. I mean, they could have at least, at the very least, they could have had, like, you know, Arnice, you know, draw out her weapon and basically try and block, and then maybe, like, a barrier thing would appear behind her because, you know, like, the dragon wasn't it basically didn't, it was clearly obvious that the dragon didn't do anything physical. He just used his overwhelming power to just straight up take her. But I mean, I don't know, just like unless that happened at a speed faster than the human eye could perceive, it just feels like a total letdown.
くそ、見失った。リュリーティス。あれが教皇庁のホテルか。仕方ない。あまり頼りたくはないが、そんなことは言ってられない。一度 教皇庁の協力者と合流するか。狩りの時間だ。ふっ、ていった落ちろ。ふっふっふっていった飛べ。はっはっていった落ちろ。はっていったふっていった飛べ。ふってなかなかやるね。いっせふっていった落ちろ。はっていった飛べ。ふっていった飛べ。はっていった落ちろ。
はい、ホテルエンデでございます。いえ、まだ見つかっておらず。はいはい、アーナス様でございますか？はい、ご到着でございます。はいはい、かしこまりました。では。
あんたは？
ホテルエンデの支配人でございます。
あんた支配人ってことは教皇庁の協力者か。私は騎士のアーナス。大変なことになった。リュリディスが司祭がさらわれた。早く助けに行かないと。どこか心当たりはないか。教皇庁の協力者ならこの辺りの地理に詳しいだろう。
あのお方の声をお伝えします。捜索範囲は旧伯爵邸庭園、現在はローズガーデンとなっている以上でございます。
教皇庁め、もうそんなことまで分かってるのか。ありがとう。それじゃあ助けに行ってくるよ。
くれぐれも万全の準備を整えて出撃なさってください。言っていただければ戦いに役立つ品をいくつかご案内できます。
そうか。じゃあお願いするよ。
これは。
Apologise. Espole.